I'm Michael with the Underground Meadery, and today we're going to make a summertime shanty. So you already can see I've got my glove on so we can get started. But we've already started making some mead, so it's always good to go ahead and crack open what we've started. We went ahead and made a clover mead, so it's getting pretty ready to age and to drink. So let's go ahead and let's start making a summertime shanty. As always, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with the water in the coffee pot. I think this is basically the easiest way I've ever found to get the water hot. This method makes it so that we do not have to boil water or anything with that measure. I just like it a lot better. I'm not killing enzymes, and it's a pretty fast method. This is a 3-cup coffee pot. It cost me $14 at Big Lots. So we go ahead and we're going to go ahead and get that one started and make some hot water. I'm going to go ahead and pour the rest of the water in our container. This one keeps it because as we fill the jug up with the adjuncts, fruits, and honeys and stuff, we lose volume. So we're going to go ahead and polish this off over here. Get that out of the way. Now, we're going to be using the gallon jug, Glacier Spring water from the dollar store, so this cost me $1. I'm going to be using AB friendly honey. We used a ½ pound of it making our clover honey, so we're just going to finish off the jar, no sense to waste it. And another pound, or 2 pounds, so I get 2½ pounds. What I'm going to be using is lemons and oranges as my adjuncts and my food for my yeast. This is taking up to the next level. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the honey. And as always, I like my honey when it's almost done and crystallizing. That way I know people don't really want it and I can take it off my store shelves. So we'll just go ahead and we'll start pulling this sticky mess in the jug here. Now, as we get going, right, we're going to be adding the warm water from the coffee pot, which makes the honey start to dissolve in the water. When it's time to add the yeast, it'll all be dissolved into a sugar water solution that the yeast will like. Now, the honey we're using is a clover honey from Wyoming from AB Friendly Company, and it sells for $8 a pound. So basically we're putting in $12 worth of honey. So we've got a $1 gallon jug, and I've got basically about $12 of honey in here. Now, this honey right here is a good clover honey. Honey's are going to come at different prices as we go. As we go a little bit longer and do other blends of meads, we're going to get into a cost of why we do it at such small batches when we do it, because the cost is just astronomical sometimes on making some of these meads. So we're going to go ahead and we're adding a little bit more of this honey. So I'm going to add 2½ pounds. I think 2½ pounds is a good ratio for a gallon of good mead. 2 pounds is probably the least amount you want to go. I know some people that when you're doing, there are some meads that we make that the alcohol content is very low. And those are like house wines and dinner meads mostly, that the alcohol content is usually very low. I like my alcohol contents around anywhere about 13%, I think is good. Some of my meads can get up to around 18. But I think 15%, 13% is a good thing for a mead. So we're going to go ahead and we'll cap this off. And now I've already got some of the hot water done. We'll go ahead and add this to this jar. And we'll go ahead and add some to this jar. And this is where it gets a little bit messy. We're just using the hot water to dissolve the sugars in the mead here. That's the whole purpose of this. So when it starts to crystallize, you know, the more fluid the honey, the less you have to do this. But this one right here, the jar is a little small for me to be getting in a spatula. But we're just going to try to get as much of the residual honey out with this as we can. Another purpose for wearing the gloves and stuff is that everything gets sticky. And we can just throw the gloves away, which is a big benefit, big plus. So we're going to go ahead and already get another shot of hot water going. Get that started. So we're going to get a little bit more of the honey out of this here in a minute when we get hot water. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the second part of the summertime shanty. This is just a basic mead mix using clover, honey, and yeast. But now we're going to add an adjunct to it. We're going to add fruit. So what we're going to add is we're going to add lemon and orange. And I usually get a pretty good, you know, baseball-sized orange, you know, good sized lemon. I'm going to take a third of each one. Now, it's based on taste. If you like more orange taste, you go with more orange. If you like more of the lemonade taste, you go with more of the lemon. I mixed it up a little bit because it's a shanty mix. It has the refreshing orange taste with a little sour of the lemon behind it. And I've got it down to where if I get them about this size and I cut it into thirds and I get them all cut up and I get them in here, it makes it, I like the flavor of it. And it makes it more of that summertime shanty. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut the orange into thirds here. I'm going to do the same with the lemon. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the biggest pieces of the orange and the biggest lemon and I'm going to cut these all up and I'm going to stick them in here in this mix. And this is going to give us the orange and lemon flavor that we need. honey and orange smell. It smells so good already.